Google's chief scientist of quantum hardware won the Nobel Prize in physics. Mastodon is adding Bluesky-like starter packs. And California banned loud commercials on streaming platforms. It's Wednesday, October 8th, and here's a quick look at tech in the news this morning from Engadget. The Royal Swedish Academy of Sciences has awarded Google's chief scientist of quantum hardware, Michel Devoret, the Nobel Prize in Physics alongside former Google employee John Martinis and University of California, Berkeley professor John Clarke. The award recognizes the discovery of macroscopic quantum mechanical tunneling and energy quantization in an electric circuit. Google puts it more plainly in its blog, writing that Devoret, Martinis, and Clarke created a superconducting electrical circuit with a feature called a Josephson junction that can be used to create and manipulate quantum phenomena. Google says the group's experiments with Josephson junctions back in 1984 and 85 were important, not just in the field of physics, but also its current research into quantum computing. The work of the company's quantum AI team is occasionally trotted out as a glimpse of a future where major scientific discoveries are driven by hyper-efficient computers. See, for example, the Willow quantum chip the company announced last year. Google is ultimately still working on creating the fundamental components that will power these computers. Ole Eriksson, chair of the Nobel Committee for Physics, said, Josephson junctions form the basis for today's superconducting quantum bits, an enabler of many of the quantum computing milestones it's hit in the last few years. It is also enormously useful, as quantum mechanics is the foundation of all digital technology. Mastodon, the federated social network built on ActivityPub, is taking some cues from Bluesky and introducing its own version of the social platform's starter packs. The hope is that Mastodon's packs will make it easier to find people to follow when you first join a server, a sometimes daunting task given the distributed nature of decentralized social networks. In comparison to starter packs, which let Bluesky users curate a list of accounts that you can follow all at once, packs will come with some modifications and improvements. Now, for one thing, Mastodon's nonprofit developer says that users will have a say in whether they appear in packs. Packs will be incorporated in the discovery features Mastodon already has. So if you don't want to be included in a pack, you can just toggle off the existing feature profile and posts and discovery algorithms setting. The developer also says that there will be a more neutral way to remove yourself from a pack once you're added. On Bluesky, to be removed from a starter pack, you have to either report the pack or block its creator. According to the nonprofit developer, once you're notified you've been added to a pack, you'll be able to remove yourself in a similar fashion to the way Mastodon lets you remove yourself from quote posts. Mastodon says it's collaborating with other Fediverse developers on a Fediverse enhancement proposal that, once completed, will allow the feature to be used by any developer building an app on ActivityPub. Bluesky's feature is one of its better additions to the micro-blogging format, so it makes sense Mastodon would want to adopt it. In fact, it's so good that Meta added a clone of it to Threads late last year. California has passed a law to ban loud commercials on streaming platforms like Netflix and Hulu. Now, this is great news for people who don't want to wake the neighborhood up when a streaming show suddenly turns into an aggressively loud ad for migraine medication, say. Governor Gavin Newsom just signed the law, and the ban goes into effect on July 1st of next year. On that date, streaming services will not be allowed to transmit the audio of commercial advertisements louder than the video content the advertisements accompany. Newsom said that California is dialing down this inconvenience across streaming platforms, which had previously not been subject to commercial volume regulations passed by Congress back in 2010. Now, he's referring to the Commercial Advertisement Loudness Mitigation, or CALM Act, which barred the audio of TV commercials from being broadcast louder than the TV program being aired. California's new law makes streaming platforms comply with those same volume regulations. The bill was authored by State Senator Tom Umberg, who said it was inspired by every exhausted parent who's finally gotten a baby to sleep, only to have a blaring streaming ad undo all that hard work. California holds some major sway in the entertainment industry, so here's hoping that this type of legislation will come to other states. Americans don't agree on much, but everyone hates loud ads. Thanks for listening. There's more to these stories and more tech news at Engadget.com. This episode featured journalism from Ian Carlos Campbell and Lawrence Bong, and was voiced and produced from the sound studios of Spoken Layer. Enjoy your day, and I'll be back tomorrow with more tech news from Engadget.